Like, for example, I was outside, again, going back to Governor's house, and I seen these top brass came out. They were standing at the front gate. There was one guy, looked like something out Top Gun. He must have been the Air Corps guy. There was a military guy, and then there was a police guy. Now, it wasn't Shane Patton, but it was one of them, you know, up there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting there with me dummy and me Police for Freedom t-shirt and the Police for Freedom banner, and I think I had Reclaim the Line as well. And this guy looked across the road and he made a beeline for me, right? This top brass man, right? So I got up and I made a beeline over to meet him because he wasn't going to get to me before I got to him.
Made him halfway.
Yep. I made him halfway. And in fairness to him, I put my hand out walking across the road. How are you going? And he took me hand, he shook my hand, fairness to him, right? And then he strolled over and he looked down at the Police for Freedom thing on the ground. And he says, I says, you know what I'm doing here? And he went, freedom, he says. And I says, no, not freedom. I said, I'm looking for a reasonable inquiry as to why you've not done the job that you were supposed to have done and all this business is going on and you're allowing it to happen. That's why I'm here. Because I'm looking for honor, you know, I'm looking for honor, transparency and integrity. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're after letting your staff down. And he turned around and he walked away with his head down. And that's because I'm being honourable and he's being dishonourable. He knows he's being dishonourable. So we've already started the work. You know, that Operation Integrity, what do we know? Well, we know that the department secretaries had the COVID Medical Networks document recommending that the mandates, for example, be stood down. So why have they continued?
Yeah.
You know, why have they continued? So that's a way of creating dissonance from the inside up. Now, every state could do that. The other thing was, when you're just asking reasonable questions, people engage. You know, people, oh, you have reasonable concerns. I have reasonable concerns too. Let's talk about our reasonable concerns. As against saying, oh, you're wrong and I'm right. No, I'm just asking a question. I think, is this reasonable? Oh, yeah, so Broken Johnny. So what I was doing to dummy with the sign was sitting outside McDonald's drive-thru just because it's strategically placed. You know, people are coming out of drive-thru, so they got to stop. And just on the back of the sign was,
I love it. I love it.
Do you think it's okay to gag your doctor? You know, or do you think it's okay for APRA to gag your doctors? Right? Even the dummy think that's a bad idea. Why? As simple as that. Right? And just sit there. And then the poor chap, the poor chap from the manager came out to me. He said,
oh, really? Yep.
Yeah. He come out to me and he says, hey, mate, he says, can you take the sign down? I said, I would, but the guy in the back of the car, I said, he identifies as a critical thinker. And I said, I'm just the driver. I'm just having my McDonald's meal. I said, he wants to sit there and make a point. I don't know what his problem is, but he's, you know. And I found what was really successful was parking down in Woolies and trying to get the parking spot beside that kind of thing. Beautiful. But parking down in Woolies and parking beside the trolley bay, right, and leaving the sign up on the back of the ute and then walking away and having a cup of coffee, right? Because you see people coming up at the trolley and they look around to see is there anyone around. And when there's no one around, they come up and they take a photograph.